What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I'm going to do a video today about how you can permanently fix the heated and cooled seat problem in your full-size GM SUV plus many other vehicles that use the same module. About a year ago, I did a video showing you guys what the problem is. It's usually burnt connectors underneath the passenger seat, and when they get burnt, it does not allow the heated and cooled seat module to work properly. If you guys need to check that video out, I'm going to leave the link in the description for you. If you guys have seen that and you can do a temporary fix for now, if you guys are looking for a permanent fix, I'm going to show you guys what to do. I have a new connector that we're going to splice in some wires. The burnt wires we're going to double up, and we will go from there, and hopefully you will never have this problem again. If you guys are new here, this is my 2010 Escalade. It is a platinum. It has the heated and cooled seats that were not working before. You guys can watch my other video to get the first-hand information about where this module is located. It's underneath the passenger seat. Two 10mm nuts will take the module out, and what the problem is the connector gets burned and melted plastic, and then the heated and cooled seats do not work anymore. So what we have is a new connector. This is the same one that Ford uses. Ford uses the same module, just like all the GM vehicles. So this is a new one, 12 pin. It's gonna use all of the pins. So basically, like in my other video, I showed you that this is the problem. This connector gets melted, and then it can't make the good connection to the module. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace this connector, because obviously you can see how burnt up it is. I did do a temporary fix to this in my last video, but it has since stopped working again. So what we have is this new connector with the wire leads right here. We are going to take out most of them from the other connector, the original connector, but what we are going to do is use the leads for the new grounds and the new power. The funny thing is that Ford uses the same connector and the same module for their cars, but what Ford does is they use all 12 of the connections. On mine, I'm not sure if they've changed this with the GM, but on mine there's only one ground and there's only one power, and they are both the ones that are burned. The fix for the Ford vehicles is they double up this ground into this slot right here, which is empty right now, but Ford uses from the factory 2 power wires into each of these connectors. So as you can see, both of those are getting too much heat and are melting. So I'm going to double up both the ground and both the power into each of these slots, which is gonna correspond with the module. That should permanently fix it, because it's not gonna get overheated, because it's gonna be using all 4 of the pins that should be used right now. All these other colored wires, these are not burnt or damaged in any way. So what I'm gonna do, pull all these wires out one by one and put them into the new connector after I take these wires out. That way I don't have to splice any of these in, and I'm just gonna splice into the black and the red and the white. So these wires are real easy to take out. You slide this gray protector out this way, and the tabs are right in there that you can unlock the terminal ends with. I have this kit right here. I got this off Amazon a while ago. This connector is actually pretty easy, but if you guys do some of these electrical stuff more than once, this connector is actually a really nice set. It has all the different tools that you can use to undo terminal ends, which, like I said, this one is a pretty easy one, but when you're doing other ones, a lot of these come in handy to get into it. So I'm going to leave the link for this in the description if you guys want to buy one of these. It is very handy to have when you're doing this type of work. So with this connector, what you want to do is you either pry up right here, or you can push this over with a screwdriver like that, and then you can pull this all the way out. It's going to be a lot easier to show you what to do with this one. The other one is burnt, so I might have to totally break it apart to get it out. So what you want to do is you want to grab a nice thin little tool, and what you want to do is on this tab right here on the bottom, you want to pull this down, and at the same time you want to grab the wire and put some tension on it, and when the clip is down, you'll be able to pull it right out. just like that. So the ones that we don't want to pull out are these 4 right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all of these other 8 out and just leave these 4 in this new clip. So we now have everything swapped over into the new plug. These are all the wires that are in the same spot as before. These are the new ones that we're gonna splice into the ground and the power. This power is constant on power. So you just wanna be careful that you don't you know, cross these wires and touch them, because unless you're pulling the negative battery terminal, so you don't have power right now. I just left my battery in, so it doesn't matter. So we have the old plug, which shows you, you know, where the power is and where the ground is, and all you want to do is take 2 of each, whether it's the power or the ground, and splice them together into here. So the best way to do that would be soldering. I'm going to leave that up to you guys if you're going to solder or you're just going to crimp or whatever, but you want to look at this plug and make sure you're doing the proper ones with in regards to where it is on the top of the bottom, how you're holding it. So like I said, these Cadillacs, at least mine, I don't know if they've changed it, only has 1 red wire, where the Fords have 2. And in the Fords, all they do is double up the ground. But what I'm gonna do, because both of these were burnt, I'm gonna double up both of those. That way, when it's all said and done, it'll have the you know, the best wiring that it could have, that it probably should have from factory. So I'm gonna post the link to the wiring diagram from Ford, which says that both of these pins, which says both of the pins are, you know, power and ground, just so you guys can double check. That is what I found online. But like I said, most people are just doing this to double up the ground for the resistance there. Maybe it has nothing to do with this, but I'm going to double up both because both of those were burnt, and they're both missing connectors on each of these. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to solder them right now, and then I will get back to you. Just got done soldering up the wires. I got them all heat shrunk and now in here, all wired up. These ones are all fine, obviously. So as you can see, jumped both of the corner plugs, 2 powers, 2 grounds, the way it probably should be from the factory, all spliced in there. So now all you have to do is make sure that these terminals are all cleaned off. If they got burnt, you know, and they need to be sanded down a little bit, and you can bolt this back up underneath the seat, plug everything in. You should hear the relays click on, and you guys should have cooled seats and heated seats. So now you should be able to put this in and not have an issue like this again, and it should not burn up again. So if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. Check out my other video if you want to see what I did the first time that I took this apart, and check the links in the description. You can buy this plug right from Amazon, come to your house. It's pretty cheap, and you guys can get all this stuff right there. So check everything out. Let me know if you have any other questions or comments. I will get back to you. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.